Out here, got a little bit more work done today. Degreased the tiller. Cleaned up pretty good. I'm gonna go and have that welded around there. It's part of the reason why I cleaned it up. You can see the crack in the weld on this side. I'm just gonna have them welded both sides and maybe run a bead around that bottom where it bolts to the motor plate. Get them to run another bead around there just in case. I could have them try to reinforce it, but I'm not that worried about it. Cleaned up pretty good. All this was caked with oil and grease and stuff. I got the broken bolt out of the gas tank strap hole. I just got to get a 1/4x28 bolt. Thankfully I was able to just drill it out and then run a tap back through for the right size. So I gotta get a bolt for that. I might have one at work. I gotta check tomorrow, see if I got a bolt. And then it just rained last night, so the weather was pretty good this morning. So I finally got that ugly red seat painted white. I just used the antique white. Came out pretty good. I didn't clear it. I thought I had clear here, but I didn't. But I think it'll hold up just fine. I put a couple coats on it. You let it dry for a while before I sit on it. Probably 2 weeks, maybe. I had pretty good luck with the seat I painted on my Suburban 12. It stayed pretty decent. I let it set up for a while before I started sitting on it. Got double stack of wheel weights on this. The inner ones are like some kind of walk behind wheel weights. And I got the Sears ones on the outside. I wasn't going to paint those the same color, antique white, but I wanted to see if the bolts I had were long enough to double stack them. So I got those on there. It's eventually going to get ag tires and tri-ribs or something on the front. The wheels are smaller than the later model. They came off of a ST12. They're not as narrow as the real narrow wheels. I don't know if I can get away with a tube in the 4x8 tire or not. I think these are 16 558s. I don't know if I can get away by 4x8 or not. I might try it because I have another set of narrow wheels under there. If those don't end up working on those wheels. The wheels under there for my SS14 that I need to get back on painting before summer gets here and it gets too hot. Well, I think I could still paint halfway decent. Doesn't look too bad for rattle can. It was a little windy, so there's a couple spots that are a little rough textured, but looks pretty good. And anything's better than that hideous primer or whatever they put on them when you buy them. It's a pretty nice seat. I like the pan seats. They're surprisingly comfortable even though they're metal. Because I had one on this one for a while, but I swapped it onto that SS14 back there. I'd like to get one for maybe this one and get another one for... I got a Super 12 out in the shed that I painted. I just need to paint wheels for it, get new tires. I'd like to get one for that. It's just got a high back seat on it that's all dry rotting and cracked. But also hosed off the Super 12 when I degreased this. And the gas tank's over here full of diesel fuel. I'll probably let that sit for the week. I usually don't work too much on these during the week. By the time I get off of work, I'm pretty much done. But I'll probably let the diesel fuel sit in there for a week and then flush it out, put new fuel line and all on it. I'm going to wait and put the tank on until after I get that welded. Hopefully you can weld it with the motor on. I don't want to put the gas tank on there and have them try to weld underneath of that. That'll give them more room with it off. It's looking pretty good. I guess I'll run non-detergent in this. Doesn't have no filter or anything. I gotta get some, I guess I'm gonna run detergent in this. I gotta get some oil for this. Get the oil changed. I had it out yesterday. The mower deck, the center spindle got a little tight. It's gonna need bearings, but I just took the deck off, pulled the cover to see what was going on. It was the center spindle, and I got it all greased up, and it's spinning nice now. It's a little bit noisy, but for now it'll work. I don't want to tear up the shaft running it with the bearing being too bad, but it looked like it had grease in it. I think I greased it when I first got it because I pulled it off to do something, and I'm pretty sure I greased it. I didn't grease it a whole lot, but I went till it started coming out of the bottom, so it probably pushed the seal out of the top, but I wanted to keep it lubed up. And then I took the socket for the top nut and I put it on my drill and I spun it up for a while, then greased it again, then spun it up a while, and then greased it again. Try to get the grease in there to save it for a while. I cleaned up this wheel weight a little bit with some SOS pads. I might not even paint them, I might just clean them up. That one looks a little bit better than this one. Brought some of the white back. These are some halfway decent tires. I might save them. I don't know if they're tubed or not. They seem to hold air. I gotta get that nut backed off and see if this thing moves or if I need to free that up. Need to get a new gas cap. When I first put this seat on there, I had it to where it was too far back and it crushed the plastic thing. The plastic thing wasn't in that good a shape anyway. Still contemplating if I'm gonna go through the trouble of trying to get this steering wheel off and get this dash swapped for that one back there hanging up on the wall. I mowed Friday with the FF20. It runs pretty good. I think it's a little bit lean. I gotta try to richen it up. The exhaust's fucking white, so I think it's running a little lean. It runs alright, but I don't want to melt it down. Onan shit's too expensive. It's pretty complete. My other one's missing the shield, but the other one I have had a newer P220 put in it with electronic ignition. This one's still got the original motor in it. I gotta get some clips for the side panel on it. It stays on with the hood closed, but it rattles when you're cutting, and it's kind of annoying. This thing's pretty nice, actually. It's got this damage here, which sucks, but I think I gave $3 1/4 for it. Some old guy had it in some junkyard, had piles and piles of lawnmower parts and shit, but it's pretty nice. I had to clean the carb. There was some redneck stuff done to it that I straightened out. I painted the deck. The deck was all rusted. Not rotten, but it was all rusted. I got some stuff moved around. Got the hydro over here now. SS14. Got this running the other weekend. It fired right up. Pretty happy with that. I got to get a battery for the 18.6. The one that I got in it, I got it on a trickle charger. I don't know if it'll come back or not. Alright, well I think that's going to do it for this video. Hopefully, I've been pretty busy on the weekends doing other stuff than just working on tractors, but I'd like to get started on that SS14 frame back there that I got to finish tearing down, get the dash off and the steering wheel. And I'd like to get that painted this year. I started on it probably about a year ago. I got the motor all regasketed, got the shrouds painted, the starter generator painted. Everything's pretty good on that. I just gotta finish the rest of the tractor. It ran pretty good. I might have to clean the carb. I think I ran it out of gas because I test ran it on a stand before. But other than that, I think that's about it for this video. Hopefully I'll be making one soon, painting SS14. I already got the wiring harness redone, new voltage regulator, ignition switch. I just got to finish painting it and put it back together. I'm probably not going to go for show quality on that one. I'm going to do better than I did on this one. This was the first one. My orange Suburban 12 is probably the best paint job I've done. I usually don't like painting them unless somebody's went over, and this one was red when I got it, and the SS14 had red all over it when I got it. But like this, I'll never repaint this. It looks good enough. I gotta figure out how to read that hour meter and see how many hours are on it. I'm assuming the yellow is the main hours and the outer ones are in between intervals or something. I'm not sure. But there's a close-up of it, if you can see it. I don't know how many it actually has on it. I gotta try to look at the headlights on this. They're wired up, but they don't work. Tail light works, which is surprising because most of the time the wires get wrapped around the pulleys and stuff in the back. Alright, that's gonna do it for this video. Thanks for watching.